Hello and welcome to your Rochester Rundown for the week of May 21st. Let's get right to it. Rochester Mayor Lovely Warren is fighting back after her husband was arrested in a drug bust. Prosecutors say Timothy Grandison is one of 7 arrested as part of a 7-month narcotics investigation. Police stopped him in a car Thursday for his alleged involvement with a narcotics ring. Investigators say they found cocaine and an unregistered firearm in Grandison's and Warren's Rochester home. Warren says she's a victim of politics here.
I find the timing of yesterday's events, 3 weeks before early voting starts, to be highly suspicious. Let's ask ourselves why, at the exact time that the police were knocking at my door, the New York Times, all the way from Manhattan, was sending me an email asking me about this. Finally, we need to ask ourselves, if this is not about politics, why is Tim's next court date June 21st, the day before primary day? Now that's quite the coincidence. Now when you figure out those answers to those questions, come find me, because I'll be working.
Grandison's lawyer says he asked for a 30-day adjournment in this case. That's why the court date was pushed to June 21st. Grandison was released from jail on his own recognizance. He'll be back in court on June 21st. Warren's Democratic challenger in the mayoral primary this June is City Council member Malik Evans, and Evans spoke with News 8 on Thursday.
The city cannot use any distractions right now. We're coming out of COVID. We have a lot of trust to rebuild as it relates to Daniel Prude, and we've seen the highest levels of violence in our city, over 140 shootings in the last 5 months of the year. So we need to get focused on the issues at hand like a laser, and that's what we're focused on with this campaign, and that's what we're going to continue to focus on as the campaign continues to unfold.
The primary vote between Warren and Evans takes place on June 22nd. New York State Attorney General's office is investigating after a traffic stop on Glasser Street in Rochester turned deadly last week. Police say 28-year-old Mark Gaskill was brandishing a gun when officers shot him. An RPD internal memo was released by the Rochester Police Union Wednesday. It says shots were fired from a vehicle that matched the one they pulled Gaskill over in. It also says Gaskill matched the description of the person officers were looking for and gave them a fake name before raising a loaded gun and exiting the car. City officials released police-worn body camera footage over the weekend. That sparked protests Sunday as dozens of people marched on Child Street, with some setting fire to objects along the way, including barrels and trash. The marchers later ended up on J Street, where some businesses saw some significant damage.
When they marched in Selma, there was no burning, no looting, no rioting going on.
We understand that people have a right to protest. They don't have a right to destroy people's property.
Mayor Warren said the police body-worn camera footage of the fatal shooting does not provide a clear enough picture of what happened that night. She says witnesses who were nearby will be instrumental in the investigation. After 399 days under a mask mandate, fully vaccinated individuals can finally ditch the face covering in most settings in New York State. The new guidance went into effect Wednesday. Stores like Wegmans and Tops are now allowing fully vaccinated customers to shop without a mask. Most are operating on the honor system, assuming that customers who come in without a mask are in fact fully vaccinated. The new guidance still calls for wearing masks in crowded indoor settings like buses, hospitals, and homeless shelters. Venues can open up to 100% capacity as long as they only allow vaccinated people inside. The indoor gathering limit increased to 250 and the outdoor limit to 500. Some local businesses are embracing the new guidance, while others are now pushing for customers to have proof of vaccination.
We're looking forward to seeing the numbers go down in Rochester when it comes to COVID cases. Once we see the effectiveness of the vaccine kick in and the rates going down when it comes to coronavirus, we'll know when we know, and we'll lift the ban then essentially on masks.
We are going by the honor system. You know, I spoke to the New York State Restaurant Association yesterday, and they indicated that you can go by the honor system. You just have to ask, and if they say they've been fully vaccinated, you go ahead and allow them to not wear a mask.
Private venues still have the ability to enforce additional guidelines should they choose to do so. That new guidance does not change anything for schools. A Palmyra woman is without a home after a Spectrum cable van drove through her front door Monday. Investigators say the driver had some sort of medical issue. He was airlifted to Strong Memorial Hospital. Police say the house will have to be demolished in order to get the van out. The Rock City Skate Park downtown will be closed to the public this week for concrete sealing. The sealant will protect the concrete and increase the longevity of the park's surface. The closure is in effect from May 24th to May 28th. That's all for this week. As always, we'll see you next Friday.